Okay.
Okay, what is the nature of the soul? Is the soul different or same as the mind? Soul is defined as an immaterial aspect or essence of a human being in which confer individual and humanity, often considered to be synonymous with the mind itself. So the soul and the mind are kind of the same thing, or you could call them the same thing. The soul and mind are synonymous, but the mind and brain are judged to be changed over time and linked to ordinary functions, and soul is judged to have spiritual functions. The soul is in relationship with the body. St. Augustine spoke of the soul as a rider on the body, making clear the split between the material and the immaterial, with the soul representing the true person. What is human nature at birth, and what comparative weight do heredity and environment play in the development of a person? We have no way of knowing the extent to which the unactualized genetic potential remaining dormant in less nurturing environments. Hereditability co-effects are lower because genetic potential of children tend to be less realized. When it comes to human development, environment and heredity are intertwined. There's influence from both the environment and genes that describes our human nature. What is the connection or relationship between the physical and the soul or mind? Like earlier stated, the soul is in relationship with the body. The body is material, and the soul immaterial, with the soul representing the true person. The body is linked to ordinary functions, and the soul is linked to spiritual functions. What is the nature of human intelligence? Intelligence is defined as an individual's, we said this like 4 times, but it's defined as an individual ability to acquire knowledge, and it has been proven that people acquire knowledge differently. Individuals learn best from experience. I know I do. Intelligence depends upon quick grasping and understanding abilities and responses, mental alertness, a readiness, and to receive and express. In today's society, intelligence can be tested with ACT or SAT testing. Mental illness is a disease of the mind and can impact how you acquire intelligence and knowledge. Let me know if I need to go back or anything. Okay, we forgot a question. Okay, what are the main functions and purpose of psychology and psychological treatment? Treatments are set in place to help people live a happy life. A person may have an addiction to something, and treatment is set in place to find out where the addiction is stemming from and to deal with the underlying issue. I've seen a lot of people, they have like addiction to drinking or drugs, or it doesn't matter what the addiction is, the fact they have an addiction, and you often find out later that they have maybe been abused as a child or have abandonment issues or something, and they're just coping the addiction. As many as 20% of Americans will suffer one or more major episodes of depression during their lifetime. Treatment is there to work through that depression or any other mental illness or behavioral disorder. Is this one or one more? This one? This one?
No, go back. No.
I'm going forward or backwards?
Forward.
Okay.
So, I have a question while you're waiting. Do all people learn best from experience?
Maybe not all people, but I know I learn best from. I know people always say, well, you don't know unless you've experienced for yourself. Or people, like, you can tell someone to not do something a million times, but they're not gonna, it's like touching, like a child touching a hot plate. They're gonna be like, oh, I can touch it, until they touch it, and they're like, oh, I don't want to do that anymore. So.
What do you think of the ACT and SAT as a testing instrument?
Well, seeing as I made an 18 on mine, I don't really think it's a very good determining factor of intelligence. I mean, you have to sit. There's a lot of people that obviously you have to sit in a room for forever and ever and ever taking this test, and it's timed, and not a lot of people are going under pressure like that. So, I mean, that test is for one type of learning or one type of, and a lot of people aren't very good at testing. So, like with a pen and paper.
Which would have to do with your experience statement as well, because it has little to do with experience.
Yeah. I mean, has anybody seen The Blind Side? Yeah, hopefully everyone in here. I mean, the guy, they tested him, and the one he got the highest on was street smart. So it's like, there's nothing in the class that can, help him with that, and that was what he's good at, because he experienced that his whole life.
Any other questions?